What's up? You back? You back with your girl. If you're new here, I want to welcome you. Welcome. Thanks for stopping and dropping by, hanging with your girl. Now I want you to go ahead and press that subscribe button, and don't forget to tap that notification bell so you can be notified as I keep you in the news. Because guess what? You're in the news with your girl, Camilla Banks. Yeah, you're in the news. Now, you're in the news with me, your girl, Camilla Banks. I'm not going to hold you long. It's been a lot going on. I had to blow this desk, baby, because there's been some hot stuff coming up off of here today. Now, I'm back in the news. I'm not going to hold you long. But Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston is canceled over Riaz B molestation claims. Yeah, so social media has decided to cancel both Marcus Houston and Chris Stokes over the claims of rape and sexual abuse made against both of them by the former boy band member, Riaz B. Now, Riaz B has claimed for years that he was sexually abused. Now, while in the boy band B2K by both Stokes and Houston as well. Now, his pleas were dismissed by most and was even mocked by fellow bandmate Jay Boog for making these claims. Now, but after allegations made on Twitter about Houston becoming engaged to an alleged runaway while she was just only under 19 years of age, Twitter started doing a little detective work. Now, investigation work, Now, they say that he allegedly got into a relationship with Miana less than a month after her 18th birthday, but had known years of her before. He had known her years prior to all of this. Now, Twitter asks how Stokes and Houston have not been canceled over the shocking allegations. Now, they now believe wholeheartedly that Riaz B was telling the truth and wants Stokes and Houston out of there. Now, Debris took to Twitter at Debris said Riaz B won, y'all. He said Marcus molested him and y'all laughed at him. Now, it's male victims should speak up, but when they do, you clown them. You don't believe them like y'all believe women. Now, the bad guy, Chun Lee, John Sweeter tweeted, "Can someone please explain why Marcus Houston is a 38-year-old geezer is engaged to a 19-year-old girl who he allegedly knew before she was only 18 years of age?" Now, they announced they were in a relationship 11 days after she turned 18 last October, and new comments on the pedophile's Insta are limited. Now, I'm not calling him a pedophile, but this is what they wrote to Twitter. So I'm going to just show you the Twitter. So that's me, Marcus Houston, and this girl that he supposedly had married. Now, Debris also wrote, "Funding is fundamental. I said when men come out about being abused, y'all don't believe them and clown them like y'all do women, meaning they don't believe them either. Stop trying to be offended." Now, and then they have a picture of the little Simpson girl. And I think that's Marge Simpson. So now, Marcus Houston simply Marcus Houston and his 19-year-old fiance's love story reeks of grooming. Wow. Now, this is what they're taking to Twitter to say. She said they went public about their relationship 11 days after she turned 18. She was a teenage runaway, credited for art dictatorship and some of the films Chris Stokes produced when she was just the age of 14. Now, she also says makes you think about the allegations against him and Chris Stokes by Riaz B. Now she said, let's talk about the fact that R. Kelly produced a lot of Marques Houston records, so he associates with sexual predators. Now, how has there not been a Me Too movement for Chris Stokes, for him and as well as Chris Stokes as well? Now, Jermaine Watkins, now let me show you her tweet here. Yeah, so that's what she tweeted. And then Jermaine Watkins went and he tweeted, he said, I always hated how Riaz B was laughed at and mocked just because he told the world what Marques Houston and Chris Stokes actually did. Now, that took a whole lot of true courage. B2K were all just kids. Riaz B should have been believed. Wow. Now, then he put an emoji with the boy from the Good Burger, basically like, you know, making a statement like, you know, right, like, right, you know. So now the bad boy Chung Lee, John Sweeter, went to Twitter to say, can someone please explain why Marques Houston, who is a 13-year-old geezer, is engaged to the 19-year-old girl he allegedly knew before she was 18. They announced that they were in a relationship 11 days after she turned 18, October, and now comments on the pedophiles Insta are limited. Now, floating at Common Alois put a singer by the name of Quentin Traver, who claimed that Marques Houston sexually abused him, and it was arranged or something by Chris Stokes, supposed to be. Now this stuff is sad. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him and Riaz B. Wow. I mean, so they just taken to Twitter to just basically throw, you know, tell their, this is why they say Twitter is mad about this. Here goes, I think this is Chris Stokes. I think he's talking. I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but I will show you.
That means good thing. Everybody has their stories. Shout out to David Womack. Irritating. Oh, what? Oh, man, that's crazy. So I'm ready for this documentary. Drop a single song, brother. Music world needs my man. True telling, man. I'm trying to drop this song right here. It was difficult. I'm freaking hungry. My stomach's starting to growl.
Yeah, so that's basically, you know, what they're saying. Sexual abuse is a very serious allegations to make. Riaz B, if this is true, which I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I know B2K, they were a very powerful movement when they came out. They had all the little girls in love with them, and then the way they broke up was crazy. They just left everybody hanging, basically. And people always wonder what happened, you know what I'm saying? So when this isn't the first time that I heard these allegations, but what I first initially heard was Chris Stokes supposedly had molested all of them. But now Riaz B is saying Chris Stokes and so did Marques Houston they were both in on this, you know, and this is it's hard for men to speak out on sexual abuse, but this is a very serious situation, and it needs to be talked about. And if that's what they did to that boy, then he's right. He needs to press this thing the whole way through. You know, that changes how people think about life, you know. It's just a very unfortunate situation. I hope they get to the bottom of this. I hope that they find peace through this. You know what I'm saying? Because it is hard for men to come out and say, hey, I've been sexually abused, and then for you to say it about another man abusing you is very hard too. And then their whole profile of who they were is even harder. But I commend Raspy for stepping up and speaking out. You know, hopefully this is true, you know. Hopefully he not, I mean, you know, hopefully he's not lying or making this whole thing up about them. But if this is what happened, then it needs to be some justification. It needs to be brought to people's attention, you know, that, hey, young men can be molested too. And this isn't right. It's not right. So Raz B, if this is true, I'm glad he spoke out. I'm glad that, you know, that he didn't care about the shame and the guilt and feeling embarrassed and all of that. Because this needs to be talked about. You can't just go on with your life after you sexually did something to me, harmed me, you know, took away my manhood, you know what I'm saying? So I just hope Raspy find peace. I hope he gets through this. Drop in the comments below about how men should go about it if they've been sexually abused by another man. Don't hold it in. Let it out. Tell somebody. Don't hold it in. Don't let somebody know. Because this is not right. It's not right, Raspy, and I commend you. Wow. I mean, Chris Stokes and Marcus, they got a lot of looking in the mirror to do, getting things right with themselves if that's what they did. They got to ask God for forgiveness, you know? So, I mean, that's just how it goes. But it don't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? It's always help. It's always help. It's an abuse line. It's all type of ways. A victim. You're a victim, you know? You can get help. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to swallow this. You don't have to go to your grave with this either. You know, but that's all I have on this. I want to thank you for watching. The song that you hear playing is called I Am God's Greatest Creation. It is written and sung by yours truly, because you are God's greatest creation. And don't forget to subscribe and notify. Until the next one, you're on the news with your girl, Camilla Banks. Yeah, you're on the news. Until the next video, I will see y'all. Peace.